Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down. Angela, hi.
Hello, Natalie.
Let me just tell you something about my life right now.
I'd love to hear. I'm all ears.
I am ill, but
Yeah.
I'm functioning ill. Now, I don't really know what's going on here, and pardonnez-moi for the smacky of cough drop sounds that are unfortunately wildly necessary today, along with my humongous hot toddy of biblical proportions that I have made for myself.
In a Yeti cup, everybody.
In a Yeti, because it's still hot.
Yeah.
And
Good.
Anyway, there's this stuff, like there's a crud going around in Little Rock. And we don't know. There's like all different kinds of pneumonias. I didn't know there were multiple kinds of pneumonias. I don't know if I have one. I don't know what's going on. If you're a client of mine and you have an appointment tomorrow, don't fret. I'm 10 days out. We'll figure it out. Okay? And we're all smiles. But if you think within this episode, as we are going to be talking about something that I very much love to talk about, if you think I'm getting heated and or riled up, that's the clammy. So that's not, it's not all emotional. I have a clammy glow about me right now. It's not an illuminizer makeup product.
Okay.
It's natural.
For some
it's
reason,
a natural clamminess.
When you said clammy,
iridescent.
I thought clammy, you were referring to some sort of special like injection that you've taken, or a steroid, or some steroid that I didn't know about, or something.
No,
to help
I
you with the
did
coughing.
get a steroid. Scott did. I was a Muppet over the weekend, and Scott did give me a steroid shot in my arm while I was asleep, and I don't know how much help it did, but we're powering through.
Well,
we're on the mend. You're on the mend.
Listen, I have something to share with you too, and with our listeners, which is that you have waltzing pneumonia, or like running pneumonia, or
I'm gonna say tap
dancing pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 days recovery from virulent food poisoning that came through my bod.
Yeah.
From a plate of carnitas that I ate, which was delicious, by the way, as they
Who
usually
doesn't love
are.
a carnita? Well, maybe not you right now.
No, I'm probably not going to be getting carnitas but I think what it actually, they always say it's the fruit or the vegetables that are like on the side of the plate that's what usually does it. It's not usually the cooked stuff.
Yeah.
So I did
the like decorative.
Yeah, the garnishes.
The garnish.
I had a wonderful cocktail at this carnitas place that had like blueberries and oranges and raspberries. And I'm like, I bet you that's what did it. I bet you that was what it was.
You ate your garnish.
It's so gross. I did, but it's so gross to think about why you get food poisoning. So let's not even talk about it. But I did.
Have to, but I think the lesson that you learned is don't, you know what, where you get your garnish. So little food for thought, garnish for thought, if you will.
In honor of the podcast, though, I am having a beer, which is a nice cleansing beer after what I've been through. It's actually working just fine for me right now.
Oh, good.
So that's good. But we have something so amazing to talk about. We have been trying to get on the pod to talk about this for weeks, and we just haven't been able to get it together in order to talk about it. And when did this come out? I was going to ask you, when did
December? This past December.
Okay, so this is new.
So as we talk about this, I mean, I'm not giving away all the spoilers, because honestly, everybody deserves to see this.
Yes,
raw, like I did. Mm-hmm. I didn't even watch the trailer. It's today. We're talking about The Kings of Tupelo.
Oh my God!
It's a drama. It's a crime series.
Documentary.
3-part documentary
Yeah.
on Netflix
Yeah.
about Tupelo, Mississippi. And then
Oh my
we've got a town feud. We've got
god.
internet conspiracy. We've got Elvis impersonators. We've got a brother Elvis impersonation team called Double Trouble. We've got assassination attempts. We've got organ harvesting. Okay.
Body part harvesting.
Body
Yep.
part are all of these things.
Wayne Newton impersonations.
Wayne
We've got a
Newton,
band called, Do
Double
Do
Trouble.
Dub and no, what's the name of his band with no drums? Uh, uh, I can't remember right now.
Well,
Double
it's
do
also all of these
The
like
No
political
Drum Trio.
figures.
Oh, yeah. We've got
Yeah, and all these political figures in
funeral
Tupelo, Mississippi,
directors. Yeah.
that all connects back to organ harvesting and all this stuff.
Yes.
Starring Kevin Curtis, Paul
Robodrum,
Kevin
that's what
Curtis, that we call
yeah,
KC,
KC,
who
yeah.
is an Elvis impersonator.
KC, approve this
And
message.
so
Yeah,
just off the cuff, I've watched this 3 times.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
I
I have to
know,
tell you.
I
I'm gonna
know.
tell you.
You told me. You can't seem
Well,
to stay awake,
should we
which
tell
is not
them?
selling it for Put Your Books Down.
I've watched it 3 times, and 3 times I have fallen asleep, but that's not because it's boring, it's because whenever I go to watch this thing, I seem to be tired by the 3rd episode, so I have not gotten through the 3rd episode yet.
The
I've gotten,
3rd
like, halfway.
episode is the best
I
part.
know.
I laughed so
That
hard.
that is
This
why
is
I'm
like
so sad.
it's
That's why I'm sad.
hysterical.
I know. So I can talk to you about the 2nd episode, like, in
We can
spades,
talk up
but
until I don't think we should even
but
talk about the 3rd episode. I think that that's
okay,
the part that
that is
everybody
the
should just, like,
spoiler.
go
That's the
watch the
spoiler.
3rd episode of the Kings of Tupelo, but, like, all right,
This
so
thing
just
is
tell me,
compelling.
give me your shtick.
Okay, this thing is so compelling, okay, I have notes and notes and notes of pages, okay. So it starts off with this guy, he's this I don't even wanna talk about episode 1, but they set up this whole thing. This guy grows up in Mississippi. He and his brother are talented little guys. They are obsessed. Everybody in Tupelo, Mississippi, in this area is obsessed with Elvis for
Why?
obvious reasons because
Duh.
Elvis went there and bought
He's
his
from
first guitar.
Tupelo.
He's from Tupelo, and they're like it's like the whole town is like, "Yeah, we know, like, Elvis is the big deal here," and they all want a piece of Elvis, and
It's
so
Elvis, church, and then cornbread. That's, like, the
yeah,
3
in that order.
tiers. Uh-huh.
Right. Yes, and so we're just like this guy starts off telling us that he's written a screenplay and he's written a novel about his experience with this situation where he has figured out that there is um, a body parts harvesting ring,
Black market. Like,
black market going on, and the reason that he found this out is because I'm skipping ahead, but he got a job
it's
after not being so successful with the Elvis thing because his
Double
brother was
Trouble.
in direct competition with him.
We have to talk about the brother,
We
Jack.
we we have to talk about the brother. He finds out this guy Casey, Kevin Curtis, finds out that he believes that there is an organ harvesting conspiracy, and he's unlocking this conspiracy, and it all just stems off from there. Body
All
parts
he wanted
harvesting.
was a Dr. Pepper.
All he wanted was a Dr. Pepper. He goes into a
He's a
refrigerator at
janitor.
the hospital. He's a janitor. He goes in there, and what does he see, Natalie? A severed head with a barcode on it. And that starts him down this path of holy crap.
Yeah.
Now, we have to paint the picture here.
All right.
Let's paint the picture of
Yeah.
Casey.
Mhm.
Casey is animated. He is
Charismatic.
charismatic.
He's funny.
He's a wonderful storyteller. He's he's um
Bazonkers.
He's bazonkers. You watch him
Or
talking
is
and
he?
or is he? That is the question. We don't know because he's very, very compelling.
I'm finding
And it's
myself
hard.
in this whole thing, like, being like,
I
"Well,"
know.
I
I
mean,
know
like,
it.
and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, it's
Right,
like,
right.
but there are parts
Mm-mm.
in this where you're like, I mean,
I mean, come on. Right, right.
yeah,
So you got Casey. Then you've got this guy Steve Holland, who's the funeral director of the town,
and
and
the
he is
representative,
like
state
and he's the
representative.
state representative, and he is like Mr. Man on the scene. Like nobody challenges him. Like he is the guy. His mother is a a Supreme Court judge in Mississippi. So she's also high up in the state.
Yep.
Then you have Senator Wicker, who's the senator from Mississippi. Then you have um, J. Everett Dutch. How do you say his name?
Dusky.
Dusky, Dusky, who is another important figure in this situation. Then you also have, let's talk about we're going to talk about Kevin's brother and Kevin's wife.
I want to talk
Okay.
about the wife as well.
Okay. So
Laura.
let's go ahead and talk about
I
Jack
want to do it.
first.
I want to talk
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about her. Let's talk about her. So Laura.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
Laura is
The wife is
the
Casey's wife.
Yep. Mhm.
Mother
And
of
then,
his 3 children.
yep.
And they have a family business. It's like they
Yes.
sell insurance, and he uses Jack Curtis as Casey's brother of Double Trouble.
Yep.
And the man's hair, his mannerisms, he is Elvis. Okay.
He is Elvis.
He's just smooth, this guy.
He's smooth.
He's like the logical, like Casey is the crazy conspiracy theorist. And then you've got Jack Curtis, the suave, albeit creeper.
businessman.
Businessman,
Slimy
seems like
Mississippi dude.
the honest one or something. Like he's
Yes,
perceived as
yes.
that in Mississippi. Like he's like the golden boy.
Yes.
With the crazy brother. And then the wife,
Mhm.
she's cracking me up
Oh, yeah.
so much during this because girlfriend is not shy to say that she liked to be called a sextratary.
Yeah.
Sextratary?
Sextratary. The
Sextratary.
Sextratary. She was the secretary in the office / backup singer in Double Trouble, who then /
horn
what?
dog.
Horn
Office
dog.
horn dog.
Yep. Who basically, when Double Trouble broke up because of what was the reason exactly why Double Trouble? Oh, it's because on the first night of their show, when they're
It's
going to go,
biggest show
the
of the
biggest show,
festival.
they've paid $10,000 to have like a promo reel shot, like the whole thing. And this guitar player, who's Mr. Davis, he is also in the government.
He's the DA
He's the DA.
of
He's the guitar
Mississippi.
player. They get into an argument before the show for whatever reason because
He went and Casey, his
yeah.
wife Laura, went up to him and said, "Here's my phone number.
Right. Would you like my phone number?
Would you like my
You wanna
phone
call me,
number to go
get a
out
drink
sometime?" Yeah, in front of her husband.
Right. So
And I guess you could say that Casey has like a little bit of a jealous streak.
you could say that.
Fair
Yep.
enough.
Fair enough. Yep.
So,
And so they get into a big fight, and this guy, Mr. Davis, David Davis or something like that.
yeah.
He's like, listen, you're just a fool, and everybody hates you, and everybody knows about your stupid conspiracies, and you're crazy, and blah blah. And so the night of the show, they're doing this show, and at the very end, everything's going fine. Everybody's worried that Casey's going to just lose it on stage. And
Because
he
he can't
doesn't.
stop talking about the organ harvesting.
He can't. He's everybody he sees. He's going to tell him about this organ harvesting. He's like, I am the voice of this problem, and I'm going
blow
to
this
expose
up.
this. I'm the world's
his
biggest
destiny.
whistleblower.
His
Yeah, it's his
destiny is to
destiny.
expose this.
Yes, yes. And so everything's cool. And then right there at the end of the concert at the high school where Elvis Presley went, and there's 1,500 people in the audience, this motherfucker, sorry, Darren, gets up there and goes, Tupelo, Mississippi is the most corrupt town in the entire world. I will never play here again because then here's what's going on. They are harvesting body parts in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I'm going to tell you about it. And the whole crowd is like, like audible gasp, and it is this whole thing. And from that moment on, Laura is like, I'm so embarrassed of this guy. I don't want to have anything to do with him. I don't want to be seen with him. And Jack, his brother, is like, he's out of the band. I'm never doing another concert with this guy again.
Right.
And it was kind of sad because they were both really, really good. And they were both
unbelievable performers.
Unbelievable performers.
I want to go see them. I would go to Tupelo, Mississippi to go watch Double Trouble myself right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
no question.
So you're just kind of like, wow, you could not write this story.
No,
I mean,
and I would like to see the Laura in action. Okay.
Yeah, because when he met Laura, he also mentioned to her, Casey said, she walked in there and she was good looking, and she had some serious boobies that he loved. He saw
Well,
those boobies.
we thought he was gonna say bazumbas, and it's
He did
not
talk
what
about her
he's
bazoombas, and then he goes, "But then she took off her shoes, and I saw those feet."
and he's got this, like,
And he
mad
has a mad foot
foot
fetish,
fetish
and he's talking about that and
a lot.
unabashedly without any shame
Mm-mm.
whatsoever. So
Home videos.
just so you know, those people are out there, Natalie. I mean, I've been talking to my friends about, like, how can we make a little extra on the side? Well, foot videos. I don't know. Foot
I don't know,
videos.
man.
I don't know. Would you
Sounds
do
like a
foot
family
videos?
meeting.
Would you
What?
do foot if nobody ever would find out, would you do foot videos if somebody paid you, like, thousands of dollars for pictures
And
of your
Scott
feet?
said it was okay?
I'm not talking about
Little
I
extra
mean,
cashola in the pocket? I
yeah,
got long toes. Just
that's
saying.
seems to be your phrase lately. Little extra cashola in the pocket. Little extra
Um,
cashola in the
if I
pocket.
could send me and my husband to Italia, yeah, think think that's fair.
I think
I think everybody would be on board.
these feet here paid for my trip
Like,
to
this is
Italia.
what first class gets you.
This is how you get
This
first
is how you get
class.
first class.
These little tootsies are right here. So, yeah, so he
Long
loved
toes.
her tootsies, boy. Whoo, he sure did. Well, Kevin also discovers, like, lots of things are happening at his home. Like, he really feels that he is being targeted. Oh,
Yeah.
well, let's talk about why he's being targeted. So, I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole. Just stop me because this
No.
is too much.
No,
It
but you
is too
gotta get to
much.
the point. I
Yeah.
He is basically he becomes this, like, internet savant, okay?
Yes.
And he
Yes.
makes, like, 400 different websites, like, 40
Yeah.
different blogs about our organ harvesting and all of this conspiracy and all about the government in Mississippi,
Yep.
and about the North Mississippi Medical Center and how everybody's connected, and he's exposing everybody, this is his destiny to do this, and
Yes.
he's just been the chosen one.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people are like, he's completely insane. But then
Yeah.
you're watching these interviews with these people and they're like, he's fucking crazy. But then part of it, you're like, wait a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that there were parts where I was like, I mean,
Right.
he called that. He
He
said
did.
that.
So there's
That
a
was
part
right.
where
I mean,
somebody really was arrested for body part
that's a
harvesting,
real,
a
it is a
funeral
real
director,
thing.
and you can go look it up. His name is Michael Mastro Marino or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's a real
Yeah,
thing.
he really was busted for selling
And
and
he's like,
harvesting
there you
body parts,
go.
and this is a thing that he's been warning people about on the internet for a long time. He also is very proud of the fact that he got his Gateway 2000 and
He
his,
loves his Gateway 2000.
computer, printer, and joystick
Yep.
that he bought for $3,500,
That's
and
right.
that is where he does all of his work.
Yep.
He
He got
has
really
a
good at
he
his
has
graphics.
really good at his graphics,
Mm
blood coming down from the
hmm. Mm
screen.
hmm.
He didn't even go to school for that, he says. "I
No,
didn't even go for
he
go to
didn't.
school for this." And then, he's just out on the dark web and finds things out. Now, I think if you go out on the internet, Natalie, you could find just about anything you wanted to find.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be out there
Ugh.
forever and just be sucked into that hole. So that's why we're so compelled by this guy because it's like part of what he says is true.
Yep.
Like all conspiracies, there's always this grain of truth,
Mhm.
but that does not. And his brother Jack rightly points out, just because that's happened somewhere does not mean it's happening in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
But he
again,
can't, he's obsessed, he can't, and it's, like,
he's
ruining his
obsessed.
life, it's ruining all
It's
of his
ruining his life.
relationships, like, everybody's upset. His mother has a parrot,
Yep. Oh my god. The
and the
mother is
mother with the
obsessed with
parrot,
him.
and
She's
she's
obsessed
obsessed
with her
with
boys,
Casey. Yep.
but especially Casey. She's
She's
given all
very
of her testimonials with this bird on
with
the
her
back of her
parrot.
chair. It was very, reminiscent of, the mom
I, Tonya.
in I, Tonya. Yes,
Yep.
very much. So a series of things that are really important happen. First of all, he writes a book called Missing Pieces.
Mhm. Get it? Organs.
Eh at this point, he's separated from his wife. He goes out
They're
right? He goes
divorced,
out they're
it costs
divorced.
what, $500?
Right, he's like, "$500, that relationship was over."
Yeah.
Then he ends up on, like, Facebook meeting this woman named Paulette, who's also sort of vouching for him. They both love Tony Robbins, so, and Tony Robbins said, "If you have a question about something,
Ask
Casey,
it.
you gotta ask it."
Ask it.
So, he writes this book, missing pieces. And meanwhile, because they know that he's had all these run ins with the law because of all these various things, he's been arrested 25 times.
Mhm.
He's finally hospitalized, and the family is like, we're not going to we're not going to give him drugs or whatever. We're just going to let him be. I mean, I didn't understand that. Like, why
Well,
they,
he went to jail
he went to
because,
jail. Yeah.
well, because he was in contempt of court. He told the judge, who was the mother of the funeral home director, Steve
Mm,
Holland's
hmm.
mother,
Hmm.
who is the state representative.
Yes.
She says one more, and he's like blurting out all these things about, harvesting organs in the dark web. And she's
Yeah.
like, one more word and you're in contempt of court. And he says, overruled.
Right.
And she sends him to jail for 6 months.
I also loved that he said that the court forced him to go to trial and be his own representative.
Yes,
And
can
I
we
was
talk
like,
about
they
that?
did they force him to be his own
Are you,
representative? I
I
like,
wanted to
what?
talk about that. Is that allowed? Can you
I
force
don't
someone
know.
to represent themselves?
I don't
I've
think
never
so.
heard of that in my
I
life.
I me neither.
I
I
mean, I
don't
know
think
that's
that's
like what
right.
serial killers do, but like I've
Yeah,
never heard of someone saying,
I know.
I was forced to represent myself.
I know. He said that. I was like,
He,
why
he
was he
sure
forced?
did.
Maybe he was forced because he meant like he didn't have any money to be able to pay for representation, but I still
You get a
can't you
free
get like a
defense, you
court
get
appointed.
free.
Yeah,
But
I've watched enough shows to know. But then a series of things happen. So should I go into the series of things that happen? An elephant is shot.
I still don't understand that. That
Okay,
was never even explained.
they didn't explain it, but I think that they saw a white uh,
Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer driving away
Hmm.
from the scene, and that was the exact car
Yeah.
that Casey drove.
Yeah.
Mind you, I also wanted to point out that he does have little musical notes on the side of his fireplace
Of course.
paper. What's it called? I just said fireplace and then I said paper
License
plate,
plate?
but I meant to say license plate. It's
Yeah.
a license plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a paper plate, license
Like
plate,
music is his
fireplace.
bag.
Music is definitely his bag. So the elephant shot. So they're already suspecting like he's off. Maybe he did that. Ooh, it's scary if he did that.
He
But
didn't.
then a letter is sent to Judge Holland, the mom judge, the woman,
Yep.
with a powder with no return address.
Yep.
Then the same kind of thing ends up at uh,
Wicker.
Senator Wicker's office, and then
And also
is it
Barack Obama's.
and Barack Obama, and then Senator Daniels, is that his name?
Oh, yeah. The guy that was in the
Davies,
band.
Davies.
The one that,
Yeah.
that's why he went to jail, because he pressed charges on like a assault with a beer bottle,
Yes.
even though the guy almost shot him in the face or
Yes.
something.
Yeah. So then, yeah, he did. So
But yeah,
this
go
is
ahead.
all becomes an all-out investigation that there was an attempt on Barack Obama's life. And this again, this is in the news, people. You can go
Oh, yeah.
see this. There is news reports of this happening, that they suspect this crazy Elvis impersonator guy has sent ricin
He
to
doesn't
the
even eat
president.
ricin unless he goes
So
to a Chinese restaurant.
they, they so they interview him, and that's what he says. And he goes, "Oh,
The
I haven't bought
FBI and the
rice in
CIA have him
years."
in a room and they're like, what do you know about rice? And he's like, I don't even eat rice. I mean, except at Chinese restaurants.
I haven't
And
bought
then they're
rice
like,
in years.
methinks this man's not capable of a terroristic
Making
attack of this nature.
right, like that
And
you would
that's
have to.
when we start meeting
Yeah,
Dusky.
right. You
And
have to be like
then the third
Walter White,
episode,
yes,
yes.
to
But the
make
third
ricin.
episode is when you learn all about Dusky, and it's like his nemesis. They become, and he starts like, you know, Dusky is this like genius, perfect IQ, who in his interviews with jobs, he has a Mensa, which is like a perfect IQ test or
Yeah,
something. He
Mensa
puts it on the
Society of his
back of
business
like his
card.
business
Business
cards.
card. Yeah.
And Casey like makes one up with his own name on it and sends Dusky in a nervous breakdown because he knows who deserves Mensa and it's not Casey. Like they're both all catfishing out themselves. Like it's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
The
It is
third
insane.
episode is the wildest ride of this
So
whole
you
entire docuseries. It's only 3 episodes. I watched it all one day and I had no idea what it was. You know, I just knew it was Elvis. So I was like, awesome. Scott's like, was about to catch the tail and I was like, get out of here. You have got to watch this. He's like, well, I can't watch this whole thing tonight. I was like, fine, I'm just going to make you watch the first episode, hook you in. Yeah, right. 2 a.m, night,
oh, yeah.
because he was like, well, I can't stop. Like, I have this is
Right, that's what
unbelievable.
happens.
We're
Yes.
laughing so hard. That 3rd episode, it's just you can't make this up. I
Yeah,
mean, and
can't
if
make
you
it up.
did make
Can't
this
make it
up,
up.
then you're my kind of writer, okay?
Yeah,
And I
for
want a
real.
movie made of this, and
Oh my god.
I don't know what parts would be
I know, who do you
because a
want?
lot of the actors I would want to play, I think have been canceled. So like I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
It's just I don't really know where we are with cancel culture with some actors
Right.
and stuff.
Well, so just throw some out who you
Oh
would like.
no, I'm not trying
No?
to
Not
get
gonna throw that
no.
out? Okay. Alright.
I don't want
You
to
don't wanna
get
get canceled?
I don't
Okay.
want to get kinkled.
I don't wanna I don't want you to get canceled either, but can you just give me, like, a little overview of what happens in the 3rd episode? Because, ladies
No,
and gentlemen, I fall asleep every time I watch the 3rd episode, and I'm so sad because there is so
it's
much
hys-
happening.
it's hysterical.
It's like I'm dying, and so
I mean, this is an example of a 3-part docu series that I did not look at my phone, and I was
let me
like,
ask you, does the 3rd part does it pay off? Like, do you
yes,
get
everything
answers?
pays
Okay.
off. The 3rd
Oh,
episode is
oh,
I
there's
was laughing
payoff.
so
Okay, good.
hard. I was
Okay.
howling
Oh god, I gotta go
laughing.
watch it now. Oh my god.
It's so
Okay.
good. And
So, let
it's
me
just the wildest this is just like one of the like most entertaining, quirkiest docuseries I've ever seen. And it's not like it's dark, but it's not super, it's not like super
No,
murdery or any like that
no,
stuff we've talked about before. No one's
no, it's
faking their
not.
own kidnappings and shit like that. But like
Right.
this is just
Does anybody die? Nobody
it's
dies.
sensational.
Nobody dies.
No.
I don't think
It's not
anybody
like that.
dies.
No, it's not like
It's
that.
just real wild, like, you could
It's
not write these characters. They're crazy.
and then there's this redemption at the end. And I won't tell you
Okay,
what it is, but it's just
okay.
like I mean, Scott and I looked at each other and we were like, "Damn, we got to get to Tupelo."
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you're like, "I gotta
do you
go there
think
right
I
now."
ever thought one day in my life, and as a child who was always obsessed with Elvis Presley, do you think
Yeah.
even though I love Elvis Presley, I've ever said in my life, "Damn, I got to get to Tupelo, Mississippi"?
No,
Well,
no,
I
but
did,
apparently
and
yeah,
you know what? Scott
yeah,
agreed. We were
yeah.
like, in a certain situation, we going.
Mhm, yeah.
Okay.
If Tupelo ever comes up, it's coming you're
Oh,
going.
it might,
Yeah,
and you will
yeah,
see why, and you all
uh,
need to go watch this. I mean, seriously, Angela, when
yeah,
we are done with this, just now that you're awake,
yes,
go
that's what
watch
I'll
this
do.
3rd episode
I
so we
will.
can actually talk about it for the love of God. I've been trying to talk to you about this for a month.
Okay, but let me just before we do that, can you tell me, like, what is it about people who believe in conspiracy theories? Like, what is it that what is in their brain? What is it? Because it's really easy to believe in conspiracy theories in some ways.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of people in this world who are obsessed with
Mhm.
conspiracies and will tell you, like,
Yeah, I
that's
made the
not
mistake of getting Bruce a conspiracy theory book for a birthday
right.
gift once, thinking it was
Right.
like just
Gonna be
about
fun.
JFK's death.
Right. Well,
That backfired. But I mean, he's not a
because
conspiracy theorist, but it's just
but
that
it's
generation
there's
is
compelling things, right?
very
You think
much,
you think the boomers or sorry, boomers.
I
Some
think
of
they
y'all are
can't.
boomers. I don't know if it's
Not all.
generational.
Some, I don't
Yeah,
know, some.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think that
Because it's
conspiracy theorists. I think a lot of it is. I think a lot of people that are conspiracy theorists are
yeah.
very intelligent,
Yes.
and I think that it's also there's a lot of time.
Mhm.
I think that there is a lot of pl- uh not product placement. Like what is like there's like a I don't know if you're avoiding like real life sometimes, and it's like
Oh.
coulda, woulda, could be. I mean, cause sure,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah.
Do you think there's
Independence
a
Day, am
certain,
I right? I
like,
don't know. I mean, like, I guess we can talk about
intelligence
that for an hour.
level that, like, goes wrong and, like, your imagination runs wild and
I
you're
think it's a
able
lack
to
of
connect
control
dots
of
of
reining it
things?
back. I think
Right.
there's a lack of or a lack of interest in reining it back, and maybe they don't
Right.
wanna rein it back, and they like to explore these I mean, who are we to say that's, like, 100% not possible, planet Gleep Glop and, you
Right.
know, moonbeam juice and whatever. I mean, I think that everybody is entitled to discuss and be interested in whatever they want, but when you go around saying things are facts
Mhm.
like that, like,
Mhm.
what I'm saying,
Mhm.
like people that
Mhm.
say like the earth is flat
Mhm.
and
That's a really
they
good
say
one.
that like they're like no, the earth is flat.
Right.
Like, if you present it to me like that, I'm going to be like, you're a psychopath, because if that's what you think, you are entitled to that.
Well, there's a
But
lot of people.
do not say it to me in a way that's like I'm wrong
Right,
for believing it's not.
right.
It's like your opinion, man. Okay?
I
Like,
know, but,
we
like,
can
there are
have like
people.
opinions, man. Like, stop. Just don't say you know everything and you're right about everything when it's kind of actually proving the complete opposite. You doing that,
Yeah,
one, makes you look like an asshole, and two, it's just making you look like a crazy person because
right.
you're doing what you're saying other people shouldn't be doing. I don't know.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
but there's people who truly believe that the moon landing did not occur, and
Yeah.
that it was all done in a studio, and that
Yeah.
the, like, shadows and the air
Yeah, I
and the,
know.
like, all the things, they can
I
make it
know.
seem like it's really, really legit.
Yeah. Well,
So, I mean, I don't know.
they're entitled to think that.
And then there's people who obviously who think that, like, the US government, killed JFK. Like,
Sure.
there's people who think that 9/11 was an inside job. So,
Sure.
these are all there could be some things that point to there could be a little grain of truth in all of these things that point
Absolutely.
to so that's, I think, why it's so hard for people to discern
Mhm.
when they're being scammed.
Mhm.
I think it's hard for people to discern when there's a little grain of truth how they cannot make the leap to,
Like,
well,
take it
then if
and run and paint the walls with it?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I
Like,
could
calm
see
down. Like,
yeah, I
you
could
can
kinda
sound very
see
you can be right with your point, right? You can say
yeah,
there is this part that does validate this idea of this event in history, but I'm not taking that and making a mural of it and saying that this is what happened and like creating my own history, that's because I took one thing
yeah,
and
I
poured
know.
gasoline all over it.
But that's the world we sort of live in too,
Sort
is
of.
and I'm
We absolutely live in that world. That
I
is this
know,
world.
I know, and it's so
Everybody's
crazy,
right.
and
Nobody's wrong. Everybody's
everybody
got an opinion. Everybody knows the facts. I'm like,
I know, and everybody has a
I don't claim
microphone.
to. I don't claim to. You know
I
what?
don't
I'm the
either.
last one to be like, I don't fucking know.
I know.
Don't ask me.
Uh,
You want to ask me something? Ask me about Armageddon, the movie. I'll talk
right.
about it. We
You
can
can
talk
talk
about
about it.
Bruce Willis till the cows come home. And I know I'm
Sure.
right about that.
Yeah, right.
No
Yeah.
conspiracies there.
Nope. And I know, you know, like you're obsessed with David Koresh when you were a child. It's
Yeah.
like it is compelling because it's like again these people. And again, I don't think that these people who are conspiracy theorists. I don't think it is. I think there's just as many people on all sides of the political spectrum who
Yes.
are conspiracy theorists. I
Yes.
think this is a human thing,
Oh,
a
yeah.
human
Across the
brain
board.
thing
Yes, yes,
across the
yes.
board. People will
Yes.
make up stories and go with it. An
Yeah.
obsession, become obsessed.
Oh, yeah. It's just
And so
across
it's just
all platforms.
I think it has to do too with, like, the fact that everybody has a microphone. Like you said, everybody's right, nobody's wrong,
Nobody's
everybody has their
wrong.
opinion, and opinions are now facts. And so,
Right. You
it's like
can't,
we've
no
just
one says, I think, I
yeah,
feel, it's
yeah,
this is this.
yeah. They
This is
present it
it's a
like, "This is
presentation
what happened."
of like
Yeah,
a like you're at school,
yeah.
and I get so annoyed because I'm like, one, don't tell me what you're thinking. Did I ask you?
And don't tell me
Mm-mm.
what
I'm
to
not writing a
believe.
book. Okay, I don't care.
Right. I know.
But also, just say I learned this perspective. I heard this bit of information, which led me to think of the possibility of XYZ.
Mhm.
That's a productive conversation. Or, I mean, if it's me and I'm in that situation, I'm running. I mean, you're going to see a Natalie sized hole in the wall because I'm
Yeah,
running for my life
right.
because Lord
Like
knows where these things go.
yeah,
And I don't like, but I just think that we need to do less. This is that. And
right.
maybe, or how interesting would it be? Like, what are your thoughts on that
Mhm.
part of this being part? Like,
Well,
make it like the Tupelo, like the Kings of Tupelo. Let's talk about
especially
organ harvesting.
I mean
I mean, do you know that it had me questioning whether I want to be an organ donor?
It did for me too, because I
It
was like,
really
"Wait,
got
I
to
am an
me.
organ donor." I'm like, "Do are they gonna
I
chop
am
off
too. I'm
my
like, oh my
arms and
God,
give
they're
them
going to
to
harvest my
It's gonna
organs. I'm
happen.
not
It's
going to be
gonna go
dead yet.
up."
And they're going to take all my organs. They won't want my lungs, not from my 20s.
Yeah, I know.
I
It's
just
it's
got me
so
all like,
crazy. People just,
it makes you
yeah,
think. But
it
that's
really
the
does
fun
make you
part.
think, but that
If you
is
can
also
keep
the
it
fun of this
harmless, you know?
mhm. That is the fun
It
of
is
this
so fun.
documentary
It makes you
too.
think of all these things. I was
It
like,
is crazy.
in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I am agreeing with this complete
Lunatic.
mess of a
Yes.
man, of an Elvis impersonator. I'm like,
I know.
good point. Oh, wow, that's a solid point. Oh shit, who am I? What am I doing?
I know. I
I'm
know.
like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's not
Kevin
wrong.
Curtis
He's not
of Double
wrong.
Trouble, Elvis impersonator extravaganza.
No.
Are you on the ballot? I'll vote for you,
I
sir.
I
I mean,
know.
what the
I know.
I don't, it's just
I
it's, but
know.
that's like a fun
But, I
documentaries that can make you think like that and like do this kind of thing. That's productive. It's like a good brain exercise. You just, but be cool, be chill.
well, I think too, what the thing that bothers me about people like this guy is that, there are people in this world who know whether or not, well, there's a reasonable explanation for most things. So when he saw those body parts in the refrigerator at the hospital did put out a statement that said, we do, in fact, take body parts and donate them for science. And so that's why we have them.
Yeah,
And so, therefore,
he
that is why
didn't.
they're there.
But and
It
they're
doesn't
like,
mean that
don't
we're
say anything
selling
to
them on the
anybody.
black
And he was
market.
like, you know what I did the next day? I told everybody on my shift.
Right.
I mean, the
So it's
quotes
like,
alone in this documentary is amazing.
I know.
He's so funny, but like at the same time, what would you do? The man is so thirsty. He's cleaning up the
Yeah.
morgue pump of blood
Yeah.
is not working, and he's cleaning up all his blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he wants a Dr. Pepper. He goes to the
Yeah.
refrigerator
He's
in the
thirsty.
morgue to get a Dr. Pepper, and he sees
Mhm.
like all these organs and body parts and with
Severed
barcodes.
head.
What would this is he's the janitor. He's not the research guy. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna think?
Well, I'm so dumb, I would
And
probably
he
just be
obviously
like,
wants to be famous. He's a fucking Elvis
"Y
impersonator. So,
that's it." Yeah.
you know,
I'm so dumb, I probably would have been like, "Oh, huh, I didn't know they did that.
oh,
Okay."
I would have too. But
I'd
I
be
would
like,
have
"Oh,
been
I didn't
like,
know they did that. That's weird. Ugh, creepy." But maybe they're using those for something in science.
I would have
That would
been
be my
very
first thought.
upset if I'd seen a severed head in a bag.
A severed head would be
I
very
mean,
disappointing,
it's
very
not,
scary.
yeah.
But then I'd be like, maybe this person donated their brain to science
Well,
or their
yeah, that's
eyeballs, or
logical.
that's
But you're not always
logical.
dealing with logical people. And if we were dealing with a logical person, we wouldn't have this gem of a docuseries.
But you asked me what I would do if I
Yeah.
saw those things. That's what I would think.
I
See,
kind of don't know what I would do. It depends on how old I was. And I guess it would depend on how developed
right,
my brain was at that point in time
right,
in my life.
right. Yeah,
I
you
may have
might,
gone completely KC on it. I don't know. I may have been like, I'm blowing this shit up.
right. I know, I
I'm
know,
about to get assassinated. They're
I
after
know.
me.
They're
They're after me. They wanted me to see that. They knew I wanted a Dr. Pepper,
I know.
and they
Now,
wanted me to find the bodies.
do you think that Casey definitely has, I mean, we don't know because we're not doctors, but do we think that he definitely has, like, some sort of paranoid,
Paranoid schizophrenia, like
schizophrenia,
bipolar.
bipolar kind of thing going on? Or is he just
Well,
a super
they mentioned
animated
that he's
dude?
on medication for
They
bipolar
did.
disorder.
I wasn't sure if that was true or not, though, when they said
Um,
that.
I think that I think
It's
he absolutely has a paranoia.
Yeah,
I'm not, I
because
can't say
and
schizophrenia,
obsessive.
I can't say a
Definitely
medical
obsessive.
term.
Me neither, I don't know either, but
Majorly OCD. I think it was also he, his wife.
uh-huh.
I think he was avoiding life. I think that he
Yes,
was
yes.
trying to find purpose
Mhm.
and he was seeking it. He wanted to be famous.
Mm.
He wanted to be exceptional. He wanted to be extraordinary. And
Mhm.
this was the route he took because this was what was presented to him.
Yeah, this was
And
the
let me
thing
tell
that he
you,
was
I
like,
can't blame him.
"I
It's
got this
like
ace in the hole right here."
he's
Yeah.
like, this just fell in my lap. Literally. He's
Yeah.
like, this severed head basically fell in my lap.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be somebody.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
he
he's
probably
an
was,
Elvin
yeah,
impersonator. Do you think Elvis impersonators do not
Elvis,
want to be
yeah.
famous? Or they
No,
do,
no, I
right?
mean,
That's why
for
they're
sure,
doing it.
that's why they're doing
That's
it.
why they're doing it.
It
So
all goes hand in hand if you
an
think
Elvis
about it.
impersonator that found a
Oh,
severed
man.
head with a barcode
Wow.
in a refrigerator.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Eureka! He's like DuckTales. Ooh. Like
For
he
reals.
really hit the
Yeah,
jackpot.
he's like, "Swish." Yeah.
And everyone knows who he is now. Everybody is chomping at the bit, foaming at the mouth over this KC.
Yeah.
Kevin Curtis is huge now.
Yeah, and his
It
brother,
worked, Angela.
it
We
worked.
can't
It
say it
worked.
didn't work.
It worked. It
So
worked.
here's what's up.
Yeah.
If we ever get hungry enough,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
times get tough.
Yes.
We maybe something like this will stumble upon. Put your books down,
Yes.
and we will become so relevant. I
Yes.
don't care if we're a joke. As we have
Right.
a documentary made on us and on Netflix, I'm
Yes.
going all in,
Right.
barcodes and all,
Yeah. There
Planet
it
Gleep
is.
Glop and
Yep.
all.
There it is. Boom.
Boom.
We gotta find something, Nat. We
I
gotta go looking for
know.
something. We gotta
I'm
find
looking.
something.
I'm
Keep
looking.
looking. We're gonna find something. Well, yeah,
Not body
it's
parts.
just
That's
not
been
body
done.
part. I can't
Been
do
done
yeah,
there.
body parts has
It's been done.
been there, done that. Don't do that. Yeah. Been done.
But okay, so we're not gonna talk about the third episode because I'm so glad I'm proud of us for not doing a spoiler thing
Yeah.
on this.
There is no spoiler on this,
Everything we've
people.
discussed is like pretty handy on the trailer.
Yeah.
But it is on Netflix, the Kings of Tupelo.
Yes.
You've
Everybody,
not seen something like it. It
you
reminded
haven't.
me of The Dancing Outlaw, which is my favorite documentary of all time.
Right. We should talk
So
about that one sometime. We've never
I
actually
don't know.
too intense. Maybe
Hmm.
not.
We'll
Maybe 2025 should be the year where we,
oh, remember
get a
we're
little
gonna
wild.
give zero shits,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, where we
Okay.
just give 0 Fs,
All right.
right? And
Well,
just go balls to the walls, Bs to
that's
the
fine.
Ws.
That's fine.
Although Bs, we know in put your
Buns.
books down language is buns,
Buns out.
not balls. Yeah, buns out,
Ew.
suns out,
All right.
suns out, buns out. All right.
Oh,
Um,
someone's beer kicked in. Okay,
I don't
so
have
just kidding. Do you have a
my
chick
first
stop?
beer. Um, um,
I do.
oh, go ahead. Yeah, great.
Well, I don't know if I've mentioned this recently, but
Mm,
I am back
wait,
in my
hold on. Chick, chick, chicka,
will you do that while
chicka.
I cough,
Bow,
please?
bow, bow, no, no, no. Oh, yeah. Time for a chick stop.
Thank you. I have re-entered my Nicole Kidman Renaissance
Oh,
phase.
oh gosh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Baby
saw her in an,
girl,
oh, girl. I saw her in an interview the other day talking about
girl,
her mother. Did you see
girl.
that?
Yes.
And she was so
I am
genuine. I was like, I
so
wanted to hug
re-obsessed with
her.
her, and I think she's
Yes.
such perfection. And my favorite Nicole Kidman movies, obviously Moulin Rouge is one of them.
Yes.
To Die For. I
Oh, I
just
haven't seen
bought
that in a
it.
long time.
I just bought it and watched it again like
Oh,
night
I
before
should watch
last.
that tonight.
It is she's so good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like that dark. I mean, it's a true
Oh,
story,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, it's a true
Pamela
story?
Smart, that
Oh, I don't think I realized it was a
with
true
young
story.
Joaquin. It's very baby girl-ish.
Right, alright. I haven't seen Baby Girl yet. Should I
It's
skip it or should I see it? I know it's
it's a rent. You
disturbing,
can
right?
rent it.
Okay.
Renter. Antonio Banderas is in it, and he's very good.
Yeah. Well, he's
I
always
love
really good.
he is.
Mhm.
But I am having this Nicole Kidman rebirth.
Assance.
I mean,
Mhm.
Moulin Rouge, of course. I
Yes.
loved the movie Far and Away. Do you remember Far and
Mm.
Away with her and Tom
Yeah.
Cruise?
Yeah.
Days of Thunder,
I
Dead
know.
Calm.
I know. Oh my god, Dead
I
Calm.
mean,
So
Cold
good.
Mountain.
I know, girl. Have you seen Cold Mountain recently? Did you watch it recently?
No, Angela, I saw it in the theater and cried in my seat for 30 minutes after the movie was over. I was
Okay.
inconsolable.
Okay. So maybe we need to if you need a good cry. I mean, no, I don't need a good cry. I've had plenty lately, but
I'm
you know,
good.
I'm good on the cries.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But she is
But
just,
yeah.
and she looks, so she, it's not a secret that she's had some tweaks,
Yes.
a little
Mhm.
aesthetic work here and
Things
there. And
done.
sometimes it
Mhm.
looks a
A
little
little too
bit too much
much.
and some not. But right now
Yeah.
she's flawless.
Yes.
She is, her look at the Golden Globes, she had that Bridget Bardot for like big hair. And
Yeah.
she's a class act badass lady. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more
I just am re-obsessed with her all over again.
yeah, and when I saw her in that interview, I thought, "Oh, she's acting so real. She's being
She's
so
so
real right now."
cool. I mean, she
And
seems
she was
so
just,
cool.
like, really grounded, and it's hard to
Yeah.
believe she was married to Tom Cruise, you know?
Not really. I mean,
I mean, well, it's
it's
not
Tom
hard to believe.
Cruise.
I know, but you know what I mean, like, she's come a long way since then, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, she had like
It's like
he put her through the ringer.
Ringer.
Poor
Yeah.
thing. She's an SP anyway.
Oh my gosh, right. Oh,
That's the
geez.
person for the
Yeah. Per the
non-Scientology
Scientologists.
gurus as myself.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
anyway.
I'm glad that we got through this episode finally,
Yes,
even
me
though I slept
too.
through episode 3
But
again.
please, please,
I
I need
will.
you to sign in blood that you're
I
going to
will.
watch the third episode today,
Yes,
tonight.
and I will. And I will just say that Kevin, one of his lines that he said in the documentary, he said, the curse of common sense is that it gets really tiring always proving people wrong. And I could have said that myself. Like, I'm such a common sense person that I'm always like, hey, common sense says the simplest
You
explanation is
relate to
probably the
KC.
one,
You
you know?
relate to KC.
Like, I get it, Casey. I
You
get
get
it, buddy.
him.
I
You
get
get
it.
him.
I get it. You
Yeah.
know? I feel for him. So hey, when somebody tells you he saw a severed head and he thinks maybe there's a black market for severed body parts, maybe you should listen.
Um,
You know?
I
Next
mean,
time I
that's not the craziest thing I've ever heard.
next time somebody cries body parts, maybe we should all listen.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we
Take
should.
a note.
Take notes, people. So, Tupelo. Wait, Kings of Tupelo, right? Kings of
Yes,
Tupelo
on Netflix.
on Netflix.
3
Everybody,
episodes.
go
Just
watch
knock
it.
it out. You're welcome. It's
You're welcome
amazing.
in advance.
I've been talking about this for a month.
Yeah,
Like
I
all of
know.
my clients, I'm so excited when I have a new one coming in that I haven't talked to because they have to lay there and listen to me talk to distract them for like an hour.
Yeah,
I just talk about the first 2 episodes and then I leave him to it.
right, and then
Leave him for the third. Just like I've done for you, my love.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
And on that note,
I
just want to say Happy New Year once again to you, Natalie, to our listeners. Thanks for listening. Everybody, don't forget to go like and subscribe to all of our stuff. Like us on Instagram, like us on Facebook. Although I haven't been looking at Facebook very much lately, people. So if you do send us a message and we don't respond on Facebook,
so
we're not really on there. I'm not going to lie. We're all kind of tired of Facebook. So really just it's the Instagram and the YouTube are the 2 places where we love you the most. So anyway, on that note, do you have anything else that you'd like to add today, Natalie, or anything that you'd just like to say?
No, I think I'm hyped up enough on my hot toddy inhaler, Zegrady, Mucinex DM, and my cough syrup.
Quite a cocktail you got going on there.
I think everyone's heard enough out of this mouth.
Yeah, well, to you, I say to you. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
To you, Angela. Have a really good rest of your week.
Thank you.
Namaste. Not too far from Tupelo, Mississippi.
To you, I say. Next time I see you, I'm going to be sitting in that office chair like your sextary.
Rolled right off your tongue.
Namaste sextary-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Flowing.
Okay. MISSISSIPPI. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you, bye.
Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.